Hello everybody, change of guards. My name is Vierka Koukalova and we are going to listen to another project. So I am inviting the team up. Tohle mi neberte. Tyhle by měly fungovat. Okay. So please welcome team number 9 and the 10 minutes yours.
Hello, good afternoon. We would like to introduce you our data project, which was done for a client of a consulting company called Revolt BI. The name of our project is margin optimization, or let's say, in general, price management. First of all, let me ask you a question. Who likes to buy products more expensively than necessary? No one. We knew that, and Franta doesn't like it either. Franta is a new manager of our pet shop company, and he is in charge of product pricing. Unfortunately, Franta has a problem. He has absolutely no clue how to do that. And even though that he has good data, which would help him a lot, he cannot solve his problem.
Okay. Our Revolt team immediately set to work. First, we identified key issues at Franta's company in relation to product pricing. First problem was sudden increase in product prices in his company due to the under control market situation, mainly the impact of inflation, pandemics, and the war. Second problem was slow reaction of his company to changes in input prices, and they are not reflected in the margins of product sold. Third problem and big problem was revaluation of products in his company and on weekly basis, resulting in high capacity requirements and higher error rates.
Okay, now that we know what is our problem, or what are our problems, we are moving on to how to solve them. So, firstly, after our initial analysis, we have decided to divide our project into 2 phases. The first one was focused on the simple descriptive analysis, putting together all the data that we had and using it to target the most problematic products. You might be asking, what is this problematic product? So let me explain. It's a product that is being repriced by the supplier without us reacting to it, without us projecting it into our own prices. So it basically lowers the margin and lowers its profitability. After this first phase, now that we know what products are problematic, we can move on to the second phase, which is all about finding out how to make it unproblematic. Here we are talking about a margin optimization model, which allows the user to choose the most suitable margin, like most profitable margin, and to adjust the product portfolio by eliminating the lossy products. In the end, we have decided that the best way to provide the user with all these functions is to build like an automated reporting, thanks to which he will be able to see all of these results. And now I will pass my word to Adrian, who is going to tell you more about its technical and practical part.
Okay. So to make our solution a reality, we had to combine different sources into one reporting environment. Sources like the internal system of the company, which contained data about every transaction that's been ever made, also data from TrendLucid API, which contained data about our competition, and some CSVs and Excel files as well. Everything is then loaded into Kabula, which sort of serves as our ETL tool, and also as a sort of a data mart for our solution. From Kabula, everything or data is fed into our price optimization app, which has been built using Python and is deployed into Azure Web Services. The optimization app is fully integrated into our CI/CD pipeline, which means that as it gets data from Kabula, it is also very easy to manage and develop further. From then, everything else, or everything, including the price optimization app, is displayed in Tableau. So now let's move onto our solution to see what the end user will actually see when he uses the solution. So first of all, he's presented the main screen. Here, he can choose which problematic product he will look into further. The problems are based on the significant change of margin compared to previous months. So let's say he chooses the first one because it is the biggest square, so it is bound to be the biggest problem. Then he moves onto the price optimization app. Here, he is presented with a nice overview, and also he is suggested a price to maximize his revenue. But he has to think about that if he makes his price higher, he might lose some revenue. But since he is already selling at a negative margin, how will he solve this problem? So maybe it is time to sit down with the supplier and have some real talk about the costs of the products he is buying, because he will be having a hard time making profit. After that, after he, I'm sorry, there is one more part to this slide, and that is the competition. But since there was competition is basically prices set by the competition, you can see that there are some displayed. However, also you can see that this is not the same product, because the product was not currently watched in the Trend-Lucid API, and therefore we had to supplement it with different product just for display purposes. After that, he can look into a detailed view of the product, where he can see a history of quantities sold, prices, where was most of these products sold, also the name of the supplier, whom he should have a talk about the pricing in the future. Okay.
And now let's move on to our goals. We can confidently say that we fulfilled all of our short-term goals, because Franta can now monitor sales and purchase prices very well. He knows exactly how much is a margin on every single product, and he can create reports of work processes. As you can see, we mentioned long-term goals. Why? Because of the great results of our project and because of the Franta satisfaction, we already agreed to expand our cooperation. So we are going to monitor the product prices and demand elasticity of clients' competition. We are also going to change the product portfolio, and we will try to eliminate the unprofitable products. We are also planning to do further automation, which will help a lot with product repricing. And now let's move on to, I guess, the most important slide of the presentation, benefits. How clients benefit from this project, and what have we improved? As you can see, there are a couple of very interesting numbers which we want to mention. Our clients sold 10,924 unique products this year, 2022. Also, 18,826 times there was margin decrease of some products which could be fixed, but it wasn't, and it is now, but just because of our project. Also, 9,426, that is number of unique products where the margin decreased at least once. Then 1,206 67 products, the margin was even in red numbers, which means that the company was not even earning money, but the company was even losing money. And at last, but definitely not least, to Frank, we save a lot of time, because instead of 10,000 minutes, he needs only 30, and that's a big difference, right? So we are very happy that our project led to mutual satisfaction, and also happy to keep helping to this company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you hear me? Thank you very much. Do we have questions? Yes.
Thank you. Can I ask, you mentioned that with the short-term goal, they will be able to set work processes. What do you mean by that? The last element on the left, when you had the short-term, long-term goals.
Can you repeat, please?
Well, it will be easier if you put a slide there, so you can get. Yes. So the last element on the left, setting up work processes with reports. What does that mean?
Yeah, it basically means that right now there is no unified reporting process in the company. And this is just the beginning of what we are trying to do. We are looking forward to work more with this company, and therefore this was what was most necessary to do at the time. But yeah, basically to provide them with a solution to process, to put a working process into the setting of the prices. If that makes any kind of sense.
So not work process, but pricing.
Yes.
Okay.
Not only pricing, but right now only our pricing. But in the future, we would like to implement. That's why the solution is very, very, very easy to manage and to set up in the future.
I believe it's a bad shop, so work process will be selling the goods.
Yeah.
My question is, now we see the number of the products which has to be repriced or something, and in fact your solution is rather, let's say, reporting. So the user will see the report, and then he will have to do these 1,000 changes a week or manually, or is there any automation bound to your solution?
At the moment, there is only automation in regards to moving the data and cleaning the data. But like I said, we are looking to automate most of what is capable of automatizing. And maybe that's something we will, no, it is something that we are trying to look into future. But right now, it's only the data. So yes, manually.
Other questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, I've seen that you're trying to model the price elasticity for each product, and I want to ask, how you model it. Do you have some specific kind of function, or do you use just the data from the past and how the price changed?
Yes, there is an ordinary least squared model implemented, which is good for the beginning, but obviously it needs to be improved in the future. But right now, it's sufficient for what we were trying to achieve.
Right, another question? All right, so probably I ask. I suppose this is an e-shop. Are there also some other kind of sales, I don't know, in-person sales or shops that you can include in your solution?
Right now, the application is suitable only for this customer, but also it is possible to, since basically all the internal transaction systems keep more or less the same data, it is possible to implement it to someone else in the future. But right now, it is suitable or built for this customer which we are working with.
And do you want to connect it with a CRM in the future to automate the whole process?
Right. That is something that we did not really have time to think about, but of course it's possible.
All right, so last time, any questions? All right, so thank you very much.